Calderon Boxing on YouTube. Magic Man, you heard it from the Magic Man.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. This Saturday, December the 2nd, in Madison Square Garden, New York City, is the return of the Puerto Rican legend, 4-division world champion Miguel Cotto, defending his WBO junior middleweight title at 154 pounds for the final fight of his career. And he's going up against U.S. Olympian Saddam Ali from Brooklyn, New York. This fight right here is not a meaningful fight. It doesn't have that much interest from the public, other than that it's Miguel Cotto's last fight, because Saddam Ali, with utmost respect, is not a guy that belongs in the ring with a guy like Miguel Cotto. I like Saddam Ali a lot. He's a very nice guy, a young, talented fighter, moving up from the welterweight division to the junior middleweight division to take on the challenge for a world title shot against a legendary fighter like Miguel Cotto from Puerto Rico. And it's a great opportunity for him. I have a very good friend that's in his training camp, one of his coaches. Shout out to my boy, Rafael Vasquez, who works with Saddam Ali very closely. He's a very good fighter with good hand speed. He has decent boxing skills. He has decent punching power as well. But he's going up a guy that's way more experienced than Miguel Cotto, a guy that has a very good jab. He also has good footwork. He works on his toes. He moves very well. He has very good boxing skills, and he's a very good hard-hitting puncher. He delivers a beautiful body attack and has that great left hook that finishes off his opponents. And I believe that Miguel Cotto is going to have a pretty easy time against a guy like Saddam Ali, and I see an early stoppage in that fight for Miguel Cotto to end his final career as a great Puerto Rican fighter. I see this fight perhaps ending in the 3rd round with a beautiful left hook to punctuate his career. And it's been a great career. Miguel Cotto has been the only fighter that I have seen live more than any other fighter that I've ever watched in boxing. I started watching him when he first came out of the Olympics in 2000 when he represented Puerto Rico, and then he emerged as top-ranked Bob Arum, one of his stable fighters, as a star in boxing, especially in the New York area at Madison Square Garden, where I saw many of his fights. I saw when he fought Zab Judah, when he took on Sugar Shane Mosley. I also was there when he won his 3rd division title, winning the WBA junior middleweight title against Yuri Foreman at Yankee Stadium. That was a great night of boxing. It was the first time in over 34 years that they had a boxing match in Yankee Stadium, and it was a pleasure to be there to watch Miguel Cotto with the great legendary trainer Emmanuel Stewart, may he rest in peace. And I was also there in Madison Square Garden when he made history as the first Puerto Rican male to win titles in 4 different weight divisions against Sergio Martinez. And I gotta tell you, the atmosphere in that place, over 20,000 strong, was just awesome. I mean, the electricity in that building when he dropped Sergio Martinez in the 1st round, I mean, that place erupted. It was on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. There was so many Puerto Rican flags waving. So proud of this man for accomplishing his goals as a great fighter, and he's had a great career. I went to see him in Las Vegas several times when he fought Manny Pacquiao and he took on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has said that Miguel Cotto was the toughest fighter of his entire career, and he is one of the 2 greatest Puerto Rican fighters in the last 25 years. Felix Tito Trinidad is my favorite #1 Puerto Rican fighter of all time, and Miguel Cotto has always been in the shadows of Felix Trinidad. But Miguel Cotto has paved his way and made his mark in history as perhaps the better of the 2, because he did have a different style than Felix Trinidad. He was a better boxer. He has a much better resume than Felix Trinidad, but Felix Trinidad's resume is very good as well. But Miguel Cotto, surpassed him when he became a 4-division world champion. The Puerto Rican public has embraced him over the years, not the way they embraced Felix Trinidad, because Trinidad is the people's champion, and this man will forever be loved by the island of Puerto Rico. But Miguel Cotto is definitely one of the greatest Puerto Rican fighters to ever lace up the gloves. Such a great career that he has given us. All the thrilling fights, he's always gone in there with tremendous heart. He's always had a pretty good chin. He's been down, but he's gotten back up. He's had very good skills, and Freddie Roach has kind of revived his career. We saw him when he fought Canelo Alvarez, a younger, bigger man, twice his size. He put up a very good game. Tough performance against Canelo Alvarez. Did very well for himself in that fight, even though he came up short and it was a losing fight for Miguel Cotto. You got to give him credit. This man has never backed down from a challenge. He's fought all the top fighters throughout his 17 years in the professional rankings, and he's been an absolute warrior. Blood, sweat, and tears that he has shed for his Puerto Rican people and for boxing fans all over the world. So I would like to give my farewell tribute to a great Puerto Rican legend in Miguel Cotto, and I wish him all the best on December the 2nd as he goes up against Saddam Ali. I look for a spectacular knockout finish to ending his career and to riding off into the sunset as a world champion. Now, moving along to the fights that took place over the past weekend on HBO, it was a triple header. We're first going to start off with Jason Sosa versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. This was a pretty good, decent fight where Jason Sosa scored the knockdown when he caught Yuriorkis Gamboa, and Gamboa's gloves touched the camera, so that was counted as a knockdown. Gamboa did pretty good in the first half of the fight using his boxing skills, very quick fighter, landing some good shots, and Sosa was just trying to find his rhythm. It didn't come in until the second half of the fight where we saw Gamboa kind of slowing down. It looked like he gassed out a little bit. He was doing a lot of obsessive holding. The referee warned him time and time to stop holding, and he deducted a point, and that was a 3-point margin against Gamboa. And when the scorecards were read in the final 10th round, Gamboa was awarded the decision victory. I have to disagree with that. I think it was very controversial. I believe that he was robbed in that fight. Jason Sosa should have been awarded the winner. I think he outworked Gamboa down the stretch, and that 3 points that he got for the knockdown and for the excessive holding by Gamboa should have been a factor that gave Jason Sosa the victory. But this is the politics of boxing that I do not like. You know, he's a golden boy fighter. He got the decision win. Now he's in line for perhaps a title shot against one of the other 130-pound junior lightweights out there in the division that Golden Boy has. I'm just really fed up with the way these judges are scoring these fights. There has to be something better out there to be done to really fix this problem, because it's a very big problem, and a lot of boxing fans are getting very frustrated with these judges' scorecards. I feel bad for Jason Sosa because he came in on short notice because Gamboa's first opponent withdrew with an injury, and Jason Sosa stepped up to the plate and he put on a very good performance. So I hope he gets another big opportunity, hopefully a title shot, because this guy is a very good game fighter, and I want to wish him the best. Now, also on that card, we had light heavyweight Sullivan Barrera coming back from another good victory that he just had against Joe Smith. And it was the same thing in this fight right here. It was going up against Dominican Republic Felix Valera. And this guy right here is a heavy-handed puncher. Didn't know too much about him, but in the first round, he caught Sullivan Barrera with a very good hook and dropped him to the canvas. You know, Sullivan Barrera looked a bit hurt when he got hit with that shot, but he bounced back towards the end of that round and he dropped Valera with a good punch as well. And that fight started to heat up. And this is where Sullivan Barrera took over the fight. Just like he did in the Joe Smith fight, he took total control using his boxing skills. The more experienced fighter, the better fighter, just landing his shots, hurting Valera several times through this fight, shaking him up, rocking him with a few good punches that he put together, landing a good jab, working the body, and he won an easy decision victory. And now Sullivan Barrera is the mandatory challenger for WBA light heavyweight champion Demetrius Bivol. This is a very good matchup that I think that it's not going to happen right away. I think Main Event Promotions is going to line up Barrera against Sergey Kovalev because they both promote them. They've been advocating this fight for quite some time. I think this fight is definitely going to happen. It's a bigger payday for Sullivan Barrera. It's also a more meaningful fight. It's also a fight where I see it as a little bit more of a 50-50 fight because Sullivan Barrera could test a guy like Sergey Kovalev, because Kovalev, who fought in the main event, making his return from his back-to-back losses to Andre Ward and really basically annihilating his opponent, Ukrainian Shabranskyy, in 2 rounds. He just obliterated this guy with great ease. This is something that I expected to happen. I told people that this was going to be a very easy fight, that he was not going to have any trouble at all if he was still mentally prepared, and he looked like he was on his game with his new trainer. He looked sharp. He was landing some good punches in the first round with his jab and just in total control. He was never in any type of danger. He got caught with a few shots. Sergey Kovalev just knocked this guy out. I know a lot of people are screaming that the Krusher is back, but let's pump the brakes on right now. You know, Kovalev has always been the best 175-pounder in the world. He just couldn't get a good break against Andre Ward because Ward was the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today. And Andre Ward was a difficult fight for Sergey Kovalev, even though I believe that they were both controversial fights, and I saw Kovalev winning the first fight, and I also thought that he got the short end of the stick in the rematch when it was a controversial foul that should have been disqualification, or the fight should have never been stopped. But Ward got those victories. We're not going to cry over spilled milk. Andre Ward is a great fighter, and I tip my hats off to a future Hall of Famer. But Sergey Kovalev still remains the #1 guy in my book at 175 pounds. And I think that he could possibly beat everyone in this division. We just have to see if he's able to take on the tough task like the new young champion in Demetrius Bivol and also Arthur Benavidez. Because these are fights right here that are really going to prove that Sergey Kovalev is the best at 175 pounds. But that's my final analysis on the fights that took place in the upcoming fight with Miguel Cotto this Saturday on HBO. And I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to this video right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk on YouTube. Please hit that little red subscribe button. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Hit that like button, that share button, and also follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching and please subscribe.